Impact segment tonight, fixing the Veterans Administration. As you may know, that vital organization's a disaster, with many sick vets not getting the health care to which they are entitled. Now, liberals and conservatives alike have joined together to try to fix the situation. Joining us from Washington, Senator Bernie Sanders, chairman of the Veteran Affairs Committee. Today, the House voted 420 to 5. All right, to do what? What did they vote to do?
Well, they voted to do several important things. Number one, right now, to address the problems of long waiting periods, this legislation will provide money to allow veterans to go out to get private health care, to go to community health centers, Department of Defense bases, Indian Health Service. In other words, the first task is to make sure that every veteran in this country gets timely care. Second provision in there is to rebuild the VA to make sure there are enough doctors and nurses and other medical personnel so we end once and for all these long wait periods. The third provision in there deals with accountability, making sure that people who lied or manipulated data can be fired and fired easily. Fourth provision says that if you're a widow and your husband was killed in Iraq and Afghanistan, you're going to be able to take care of you're going to be able to take advantage of the post 9/11 GI Bill, and you're going to be able to get an education. We got resources in there to deal with sexual assault as well. Those
All right.
Are some
so
of
it's
the
going to cost the taxpayer $17 billion. I think it's money well spent.
It's going to cost the taxpayers about $12 billion because there are $5 billion offset within the VA.
Okay, I don't understand it. Nobody on earth does, but I'll take your word for it. So $12 billion to extra to make sure that the VA runs properly. Here's my next question. And as you know, I'm a simple man. I'm asking simple questions. How did it devolve into this chaos in the first place? How?
All right, but you started off by saying something like the VA is a disaster. That's really not accurate. If you talk to most veterans in this country, and there are about 6.5 million who use the VA every single year, most of them will tell you that once they get into the VA, the quality of care is good. That is what the American Legion, the VFW, the major veterans organizations say. The problem that we're having, Bill, is one of access in certain parts of the country, Phoenix and many other areas.
But how did that happen? How did Phoenix is a big place? I mean, how did it happen?
I will tell you exactly how it happened. What the VA did mistakenly, is come up with a very aggressive protocol that says anybody in the VA system, you can come into the VA and get health care in a 14-day period. That is much more ambitious than many private sector healthcare systems do. That was a mistake, because it turns out that in many parts of the country, they don't have the doctors and nurses to get you in 14 days.
All right, so they overpromised. But then there was all that witch hunting going on. If a doctor complained and they come down and whack them, that's not how a really good organization is run.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Now, what ended up happening is, instead of acknowledging that we can't get you in 14 days, we'll get you in a month or 2 months, people lied and they manipulated data. And then they went after whistleblowers. So we got a new guy in who's going to be sworn in today, Bob McDonald. I think he's a serious guy. He was graduate of West Point, served in the 82nd Infantry. I think he has a passion to address veterans issues. He has the management skills, former CEO of Procter & Gamble. So clearly we need better management skills there. And we need accountability in a way we haven't had in the past.
And all of that is good. But I want to see some people go to jail who were, fixing the books, cooking the books so they can get bonuses. And you know that existed. And I don't want prosecutions. Is that going to happen?
Yes.
All right, good. Last question on VA, and I got one more question. President Obama made this a big campaign issue. I'm going to clean it up. It's going to be the greatest thing in the world. Then he didn't pay attention to it at all. Are you disappointed in him?
Well, I don't know that he said it was going to be the best thing in the world.
Yeah, I can run the campaign stuff. See, I'm going to change it. I'm going to make it great.
Bill, what Obama did do is actually fund the VA reasonably well.
Yeah, but he didn't pay attention to what was happening to it.
All right, but in fact, there were problems that the secretary was not aware of. There are problems, absolutely. All right. Our job now is to deal with those problems. I think he should have paid a little bit more attention of it, particularly because he made it a banner on his campaign. Well, we all should have.
Is that reasonable? Is that a reasonable criticism?
We all should have, absolutely. Okay. But the last point that I want to make, Bill, for most veterans who get into the VA,
it's a good
quality of care. That's right.
Okay,
that's right.
All right. Are you disappointed with the president's foreign policy, which is collapsing all over the world? I mean, are you disappointed?
I don't look. You have horrendous situations for
everywhere.
How many years now? Right, but you have had, for how many years has the Palestinians and the Israelis been at war? It is a horrible situation. It has gone on decade after decade. Bill, if I had the answer to that crisis, believe me,
well,
you'd be the first
Putin?
to know.
What about this little creep Putin? Come on, he's running wild. Aren't you disappointed?
Well, I don't know.
I'd rather have you take care of Putin than Obama. I'll send you over there. Give him a little Vermont. Give him a little Vermont over there.
You think maple syrup will be the sweetener that brings the deal together?
Dump it on him, and then roll him in the dirt.
What the international community is doing, Bill, which is significant, is exerting you. No. Don't say stop it.
He's giving you the middle finger, Senator, with this kind of dopey stuff. Cut off all the banking to him, and then you'll see something. Last word.
You're seeing well. The last word is, I think you will see some changes on Mr. Putin's behavior.
All right. If not, I'm sending you over there, Senator, whether you like it or not. You're going over there. All right. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.